the moment when art ceased to be polite and well-mannered, grabbed a musket, joined the crowds in the streets and marched straight into revolution, was 1830. The artist at its center was Eugène Delacroix, the French painter who embodied the spirit of Romanticism. Now imagine us stepping into the Louvre past centuries of elegant portraits and stoic biblical scenes, and then encountering liberty leading the people, a charged, unapologetic vision of revolution that practically bursts off the canvas. Delacroix was never interested in playing by the rules. He took history painting, the most prestigious and rigid genre of the time, and electrified it with color, emotion, and unbridled energy. To understand Delacroix, you need to first grasp the Romantic movement that swept through early 19th century Europe. Romanticism was about passion, the individual spirit, and the sublime. It was an emotional jolt meant to wake people from the slumber of neoclassical perfection. Delacroix came of age when French culture was shifting from the calm order of Jacques-Louis David to the stormy drama of Théodore Géricault. The latter's raft of the Medusa was a key inspiration for Delacroix. It showed him how a contemporary tragedy, painted with unflinching realism, could shock and captivate viewers more than any mythological tale. This was a time for innovation, and Delacroix seized the moment, channeling raw human emotion into grand-scale canvases. Delacroix drew from the old masters like Rubens, Tintoretto, and El Greco, but he refused to confine himself to imitation. He studied their bold color palettes and dramatic compositions, then pushed them further with his own brushstrokes and color contrasts. Compared with the crisp outlines of neoclassicism, where David's figures seem frozen in carefully arranged poses, Delacroix's figures twist and turn, all movement and life. He brought together swirling draperies, strong emotions, and delicate yet flowing brushwork to match. This was a French painter unafraid to let his hand be seen, capturing a fleeting sense of motion in every stroke. It's no wonder that Charles Baudelaire, an innovator of the arts himself, called Eugène Delacroix the last of the great artists of the Renaissance and the first of the modern age. Nowhere is Delacroix's revolutionary spirit clearer than in Liberty Leading the People. Painted in 1830, it depicts the July Revolution that toppled the repressive King Charles X. At its heart is the bare-breasted figure of liberty brandishing the tricolour flag, a symbol of freedom and defiance. The composition brims with chaos, smoke fills the air, bodies fill the foreground, and men of different social classes rally together. It wasn't just a tribute to the people's uprising, and it was also a challenge to the status quo. Delacroix knowingly broke academic rules with his loose brushwork and emotional power. King Louis-Philippe initially bought the painting to show he supported Republican values, but its radical message proved too potent. By 1839, authorities deemed it dangerous, removing it from public display. For Delacroix, Romanticism was also about exploring the unfamiliar, both geographically and intellectually. His travels to North Africa opened a doorway to exotic color, light, and subject matter. Canvases like Women of Algiers in their apartment glow with rich textiles, languid poses, and the vibrant palette he encountered abroad. In parallel, his passion for literature fed the drama in his paintings. Lord Byron's epic poetry gave rise to the death of Sardanapalus, a swirling panorama of destruction and excess. Shakespeare too found a visual companion in Delacroix's portrayals of scenes from Hamlet. Later painters like Edouard Manet, Vincent van Gogh and Paul Cézanne recognized the power of expressive color and fearless technique and most likely got inspiration from Delacroix. In his floral still life paintings, for instance, even a simple still life could radiate emotion through colors. His complementary color explorations set the groundwork for Impressionists, who would build entire theories around color and light. Symbolists found inspiration in his emphasis on emotion over realism, and modernists saw him as a kindred spirit who refused to confine his imagination to established rules. As Baudelaire observed, Delacroix was both an endpoint of classic greatness and the spark of something profoundly new. Delacroix's triumphs came at a personal cost. Orphaned by 16 and plagued by health issues, he found solace in his work rather than in family life. He never married or had children, yet the tragedy and vulnerability seemed to sharpen his vision. For Delacroix, painting became a means of seizing life's turbulent energies and transforming them into visual poetry. His friendship with Charles Baudelaire, another restless genius of the era, underlined the kinship between poetry and painting, each pushing the other toward new frontiers. When Delacroix died in 1863, his funeral was attended by luminaries who understood they were losing one of art's brightest minds. But his departure was hardly an end. The seeds he planted grew in the canvases of Impressionists, Symbolists, and beyond. Visit any major art museum and you'll see his imprint, a vibrant brushstroke, a daring composition, a refusal to settle for sterile perfection. Eugène Delacroix defied simple labels. He gave Western art a powerful new direction. From the revolutionary fervor of liberty leading the people to the hypnotic color harmonies in his still lifes, he proved that emotion can be just as precise and potent as line. He broke from the past and yet built upon it, melding classical mastery with an audacity that still reverberates through museums worldwide. In an era defined by political upheaval, philosophical revolutions, and shifting social norms, Delacroix captured the heartbeat of his time. Thank you for watching, and if you are an art buff like me, remember to hit that subscribe button.